So the lockdown was earlier expected to get over on April 14th, but that was extended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi till 3rd May, looking at the gravity of the situation of the COVID-19 pandemic. So if the lockdown does have to get over, when can that possibly happen? But importantly, how can that happen? Now, World Health Organization has suggested at least 5 steps which will be necessary for lockdowns, restrictions to end so that the spread of the coronavirus can end, and also then the COVID-19 can be a battle that can be won by India. So what are these 5 steps? Let's take a look. So the first step clearly is a reason why we are facing a lockdown in the first place, which is to maintain social distancing. Now, according to WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom, asking people to stay at home is to buy time, is to reduce the pressure on the healthcare systems, and the lockdown can then end in India by the time there can be a plan that can be arranged to eliminate this virus. Now, second step, importantly, is to prepare the country's healthcare system to battle the coronavirus, because all the burden is on the healthcare system. Right now, remember, India is, even in comparison to the first world countries, is not best equipped. Even the first world countries are facing so many problems. And therefore, countries like India perhaps will have to step up with millions of personal protective equipment, the PPEs that the doctors and the healthcare workers wear. We'll also need masks and gloves and sanitizers. Remember, there's also been a discussion about how thousands of ventilators will also be required to boost the healthcare system of the country to battle the COVID-19. Now, the third step, very interestingly by the WHO, is the herd immunity, where people in areas start to gather the immunity so as not to get affected by the virus. Now, the fourth step, of course, remember, is to build the vaccine. That's what a lot of scientists and the doctors and healthcare personnel are trying, which is India has already done work, remember, exemplary work India has done with polio and the measles vaccinations. Now, vaccinations are being expected, but that will require 130 crore units, likely of a vaccine, but it will take a lot of time. According to some reports coming in, that there could be 12 to 18 months for the vaccine to be properly developed so it can be officially started to be put to use. And the fifth step is to take charge of the contagion, which is essentially an issue of governance. About 215 of 700 districts of India have reported the virus cases. There is a view that a special containment plan should be rolled out for these hotspots of districts to halt the progress of the coronavirus outbreak. One of the lessons to learn could be from the Bhilwara model, and that is being cited as a possible roadmap for the future. Bhilwara is now being sanitized, remember, after it showed a huge spike of cases, and it is now being taken as a success in the battle of the coronavirus. So to an extent, these 5 steps will have to be successful for lockdowns to be completely lifted. However, there can be in a phased manner relaxations that can be given by both the centre and the state governments, looking at respective states and its progress. There can be interstate transport services that may be eventually allowed. There could be also to ensure that some areas are given relaxation to move about as well. But the hotspots will still remain to be contained, specifically so the virus does not spread. Remember, for people to get any sort of relief by the government, it is also important that people practice precautions and ensure that the healthcare system is not burdened, and the government must ensure that the healthcare system is prepped up as well. So a lot will depend on what the centre's strategy is, but importantly how the state governments decide to directly implement it into their respective states.